Hello, guys. How are we doing today?
Morning, everybody.
Uh, Happy early Thanksgiving, by the way,
Yeah,
folks.
yeah, we are doing cram sessions this week so that none of our nice people over at Patreon are cheated out of the content they
Yes.
pay for. So we're not going to have any lags in what you can see over at Patreon because that's not fair to you
Yeah.
guys.
So I guess by the time you're seeing this on YouTube, it'd be past Thanksgiving. So
Yeah, it'll be way
hope
past
it was
Thanksgiving.
great.
Right. But yeah, for those of you on Patreon who are jumping into this one, happy Thanksgiving week.
Yeah,
That's where we are, but you are worth it.
you are worth it. We're very thankful for you guys, by the way. Honestly, this
Absolutely,
has been a.
for sure.
We were talking about last Thanksgiving. We I think we were debating whether or not it was a West Wing episode or Casey X
We put
girlfriend
one of
episode.
them
We were
up and it was
voting. Yeah,
like, "Hey, people watched." It was like we had like what 60 subscribers maybe
we
at
did.
that point
Yeah,
on YouTube and two on Patreon.
yeah. It
But
makes me kind of
yeah,
emotional
yeah,
for
it
those of
was
you
been
that
a
were here
great.
last
It's been a
year.
great year because of you guys. No
Yeah,
kidding. Obviously, we've also really enjoyed the content that we're watching. Crazy Ex Girlfriend was actually a recommendation from one of our viewers.
it
It was like,
was.
you
Yeah,
guys need to check this out, and I was like, I've never heard of it. We have like 4 viewers. We might as well listen to one of them.
yeah.
And it's been a really really great rewarding show to watch, and as you know, especially now that we're nearing the end of it, only a few episodes left.
Yeah, 3 episodes.
Right.
Plus a concert, I guess, at the very end. Is it
Yeah.
episode 18 is a live concert episode?
Yeah, we're going to. I'm assuming that that's available on Netflix. I haven't looked for it. Is it? Is it?
It is.
Is it a part of the show?
It is.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
what people on Patreon, the good people on Patreon have told me is that
Right.
the last episode is all concert.
Now, Joe and I've talked about it, guys. Because it's a concert, it's only going to be available on Patreon. We're not going to put it up on YouTube, and that's
Mhm.
just because it's all music, and therefore there's really nothing we can show.
Yeah.
But we do want to watch it. We love the show. We love
Mhm.
the music. And so we might as well, if we're going to watch it, share it with the people that we can share it with. But
Gotta complete.
that's unfortunately the only people we can do that with are the people at Patreon because of copyright purposes.
Yeah.
Music, as you if you've watched the show at all with this on YouTube, you know that the music is a complete no go. I've tried to put snippets of music in and had it and been content blocked and had to
Yeah.
go back and re-edit it out several times before I just gave up. And just like, well, they're not clearly not going to let us put any music.
That's like when we did the I Give Good Parent music video reaction.
Yeah, well,
Had to cut all the music out.
no, the music's up. We just couldn't get an
Oh,
ad
really?
through.
You
Yeah,
got blocked out then.
right. Just
Dang.
because I thought it would be good, be fine
It
because
was a fun video.
it's on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
I usually feel like a YouTube video is kind of like granting public domain access a
Yeah.
little bit. Like, this is public, you can use it.
No
But
more
obviously
ever
that was that was a year ago, and that was naive of me
Yeah, it was.
because that was not the case. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Now, we've also been discussing
We have been.
what we want to do after we're done with Crazy Ex Girlfriend. We don't want to. I mean, we have some prestige dramas we want to watch, but we're going to probably save those for when we finish other dramas. We feel like we have a decent
We
balance
want to
right
keep
now.
the tone
Exactly.
similar.
We feel like we have a good balance with some prestige dramas and some prestige comedies that we're checking out.
Mhm.
And we don't want to like overload one way or the other.
Yes.
So we think we've had some long discussions over many, many weeks.
Yeah.
As we've anticipated the end of this beautiful show, and we think we're going to do
The Good Place.
The Good Place,
Yeah.
a show we never watched. I don't know much about it. I think
It's Kristen.
it's Kristen Bell
Kristen Bell,
and Ted Danson.
Yeah.
I know that. I don't really know what it's about. I've had friends who told me I should watch it, and they've kind of said what it's about, but I was not interested at the time in what they were saying, so I didn't really pay much attention
Yeah,
to
I've
them.
seen ads for it, but I haven't really paid attention.
And I don't watch much network TV, so I don't see
Yeah.
many ads. If they're not advertising something during the NFL football game, I probably haven't seen the commercial
Yeah.
for any product.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure, like, you know how like when you're scrolling through Netflix, and if you
Yeah.
stop on a show for too long, it starts running a clip or an ad. I think that's all I've ever seen of the show. Is
Yeah.
just scrolling through and making the mistake of not scrolling fast enough.
This is us kind of taking advantage of streaming services, Peacock, Netflix, Hulu.
For sure.
You know, now a lot of these network shows live there.
Absolutely.
That's one benefit of it.
Yeah, that makes this
Yeah.
a much easier endeavor.
Mhm.
So let us know what you think. The Good Place is a good way to go. Like I said, I've had friends recommend it to me. We've had people
On
on both
Patreon. Yeah.
Patreon and on YouTube in the comments say you guys should really check out The Good Place. Obviously, I'm not sure awards wise where it was. Not
I
that
think
that's
it did well.
not that that's a main barometer. But again, we do like to. Basically, what we're doing with this channel is getting caught up on the prestige shows that
Yeah.
we definitely should have watched.
Yep.
And just haven't. As you can look at what we've seen, a lot of them are really, really
I
prestigious
think
shows.
it's done well. The only really like awards prestige show that I watch is like part of the Golden Globes. The
Sure.
Golden Globes
Right.
for TV and movie.
Right.
Don't really watch the Emmys, but I'm pretty sure The Good Place has been nominated for a bunch of Golden Globes over the years.
Sure.
Obviously, I remember when it was on TV, but just don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I love Ted Danson a lot.
I love Kristen Bell. Forgetting Sarah Marshall. They've been a comedy over here. So yeah,
that's a solid movie. So that's where we let us know if you think that's a good way for us to lean, or if we should be looking somewhere else. We've got 2 or 3 weeks here left to really need to finalize what we're going to do with is a replacement for Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, a show that I am definitely going to miss. We've been watching it for about a year.
We have, yeah.
And it's just something I've looked forward to every Wednesday.
Me too. It's been such a great show. I've loved Rebecca's journey, and I love watching these guys deal with her too. You know? Right.
And I think this 4th season has been incredibly rewarding for you go on
fantastic.
You go through the rocky, bumpy journey with Rebecca.
Yeah.
And so now you see the dividends of her hard work and all of her trial and error starting to pay off.
It's a true payoff. Yeah,
it is, because she's making better decisions. Her relationships are healthier. Her outlook on life is healthier. She's healthier. Yeah, it's just it's like going through somebody's very long dark night of the soul with them and kind of coming out on the other side with them being a stronger person.
It really is,
and I love everything about that.
Me too.
All right.
Well, if you guys are watching this on YouTube for the first time, welcome to our channel, guys.
Hello.
Please hit that like button for us. Leave us a comment down below. And if you might hit the subscribe button, hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on the new content we have coming your way.
Yeah. If you'd like to see a full-length reaction to this and everything else we've watched or watching, including every episode of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend by the time we're sending this on YouTube, please check out a link in the description below to our Patreon page. If you are catching this for the first time on YouTube, as Joe mentioned, we're probably done with the show over on Patreon, including the concert episodes. So if you want to see all of it, if you want to jump over and finish the show with us right now, you can probably do that over on Patreon as you're watching this. We're also watching 30 Rock right now as a Patreon exclusive. On all of these shows, though, you're going to have to sync and watch along on your own streaming service. We can't show any, because we're doing the entirety of the show. It would be a copyright infringement for us to use either their audio or their video track. You're just going to see and hear us. You'll have to watch along with us on a split screen or something. That's what I do when I watch on Patreon. I just split screen it.
Yeah,
it's right. It's this opportunistic
He joined musical theater just to get at her.
Same with Josh, right? It's the swooping thing that people do. Guys and girls do it, right? It's not gender specific.
Opportunists, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Romantic opportunism is a real thing. It's pretty gross. Yeah. I've been guilty of it when I've been younger and dumber. Everybody has on some level, right? You know what I mean? Oh, in college I was pretty. I had some serious crushes. You know,
you're just like, what, man? Yeah.
I'm here to be your friend.
I'm in love with you.
Oh my God.
I didn't see that coming.
What?
I've been feeling like this for a while now, but I tried to push it aside because our history is complicated, but I can't keep it inside anymore.
Yes, you can. I like Josh, but we've all been there, and we've all bottled it up. Right, exactly.
Oh, Julia, this is
That's
you.
cool.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so we have some documents for you to sign, and once you're done signing them,
I'm guessing she's not. I think she's going to miss.
She's playing a loose kind of.
Yeah.
This is Ferragosto Couture. I love them. I have one for every day of the week. It's the unofficial office uniform. Makes us feel like a team, like the Yankees or the Rockettes.
Well, I like both those things.
Just a little something that we do.
We do. Hear you.
It's like, Hector, you got to grow up, man. You got a wife.
Ready. How much longer are we going to argue about this?
Until I have something oval cut on my finger.
Oh my God.
For you.
And was this part of what you always dreamed of? Bullying the person you love into proposing?
She was doing it to Josh, yeah.
Isn't it magical?
And I don't want to fight about it anymore. I'm going home to New York, Valencia. Are you coming with me?
Man, I don't know whose side to be on. Because we can't force either one of them, you know?
Well,
let's get married. Beth does not.
Well, I'm on Beth's side.
Yeah.
Anyway, how do you feel about Josh now? Or Greg? Or Nathaniel?
I honestly don't know. I just can't believe this is still happening.
I feel bad for her because they're piling it on her.
And
I have developed a very effective and foolproof system. It's hard to explain. It's easier if I show you.
Are we getting a song?
Please.
This is your system?
Okay, maybe it is Nathaniel, right?
Yeah, but look at the Josh column.
I like that she's at least doing a process.
Incredible
It's a
bond,
bad
understands
position,
my
but I
inner
like that she's doing a
child.
process.
If I ended up with Josh, that would make a certain sense. I didn't move here for him.
Yeah, but that was the
Maybe it
wrong
is
thing to do.
Josh.
Yeah.
Guys,
Good for you.
maybe it is Greg.
I
can't believe this
it's
is
gotta be,
happening
right?
again,
Yeah,
and that
right.
I'm back in it.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yep. Yep.
Go to your therapist right now. Oh, yeah, the math guys again. Yeah. The love triangle song.
Something out.
I think it's time to go talk to a
Guys, my
therapist,
life is a
really.
disaster. And not just my love life, it feels like everything. I can't go on like this.
I mean, Audra Levine has abandoned her mature adult life and holed up in an off-brand Vegas
Too much
casino.
Schadenfreude.
Well, this is sad.
This is more important. So yes, David.
Is this like
I will
putting
go.
off what she needs
you
to focus
can count
on?
me
Yeah.
as always.
Kind of like Paula
thank
with
you
the
so
desk
much.
when she was finishing law
Good
school.
time.
Or you want to procrastinate on your decision and see your frenemy at her lowest so you can feel superior and rub it in a little.
Yes.
But the people at my firm are so nice. I mean, I thought they were gonna be snooty and that I wouldn't fit in, but it's basically perfect. All I have to do is get me one of them suits, and then I will be one of them. Jacket alone is $8,000.
Oh my, there's no way.
That's almost my whole bonus.
Yeah.
And that money was supposed to pay for credit cards, and
I have to go to Vegas, and I really don't want to go alone. Does anyone want to come with me?
Everybody?
Nobody wants to go
let's
to Vegas.
see, babysit my husband or
There we
to
go.
Yeah.
I guess I could turn that 10 grand into 50 fit
Oh
Ragosa suits and a new roof.
no.
What? Nothing, just being supportive. Let's go.
Gambling's never a good idea.
You can't gamble to solve your
So-
financial problems.
I
Yeah.
don't have that mindset with, I'm gonna
Right.
turn this $10,000 into 55 G's.
I'm a firm believer in only gamble what you can lose.
Yeah. If I gamble, it's like slot machines,
Right.
roulette.
Yeah.
I'm not playing cards.
It's like I'm bringing $100 that I can live without.
Yeah. I do like blackjack though. Blackjack's
Mm.
kind of fun.
Mhm.
This morning, I declared to Rebecca that I care about her.
No, you
I
did
cared
not.
about her
You said
before
you love
did.
her.
You
That's so
cared
gross.
about her
She's
and Peter
mine.
the other day,
Right.
but before that, I cared about her.
Because honestly, I think Rebecca and I, some way, somehow, have a chance to be together.
Well, then we have a problem.
No,
Hey, Jay.
they're seeing the
Hey,
board.
Jay, why is my name on that whiteboard?
A little
It's me,
threatening.
you, and Greg? And it looks like she's really torn, like she doesn't even know who she wants to be
This
with.
is really invasive of these two.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm standing down.
I don't believe you.
I don't believe that for a
I-
second.
I shall do samesies.
It's a commercial for like those resorts.
Yeah, the slow motion walk.
Ah, Rebecca Bunch, what are you doing
Take a
here?
guess.
David called me.
Okay, fine. You win.
What?
I mean, there's nothing keeping me in Las Vegas anyway.
Now we can
Maybe
go
it is
home.
that. Maybe it is it.
Back
Maybe
to
that
our
was just
lives.
the distraction that they said. Yeah.
The choices that come with those lives.
Oh no!
So sad.
We can't leave yet.
So you're like, hey, how about we spend one more day here that we
This is definitely Paula at the desk again.
Yes.
Audra!
Oh my God, stop following me.
Babe, who are these chicks?
Bought me a drink at the bachelorette party, and now I'm moving to Las Vegas to be with him. I mean, you get it. You did the same thing.
I would like you to stand down.
Hey, Josh. What?
It has been brought to my attention that Rebecca is torn between me, you, and Nathaniel. You said you were standing down.
Well, so did you. You said you were standing down.
Well, I realized I couldn't live without Rebecca.
Oh my
I
God.
realized that too, and then I realized that he needed to stand down.
Rebecca and I are over. She has no interest in me.
He doesn't know about the whiteboard.
Oh, we gotta show him the way.
No.
Well, you can erase my column. This is dumb. I'm out.
I don't believe that either.
Well, his seem more legit than
standing down,
theirs.
Hi, you're using me as justification for abandoning your three very, very tiny children?
I'm just doing exactly what you did. You escaped our restrictive upbringing and started a cute business. You have great friends and have dated 9.6s.
That's true.
Thank you. And your friends or whatever, but I'm fine. And I actually have to go. You can't call me crazy. Because when you call me crazy, you're just calling me in love. Blam!
Oh, the theme song.
Yeah.
We gotta help Audra. She's in
Ah.
trouble, and it's kind of because
No,
of me,
it is
so
not because of
just
you.
let's go.
It's-
Why don't all of you go and take Audra's skis ball boyfriend with you, and then I'll sit at the table while you all talk it out. What's the buy-in? What game are we playing?
You know
She's
who
the
this guy
worst.
really is, right?
Yeah, honey. I mean, I know he's got that sleazy, oily, shaved all over bad boy.
You're all just jealous.
Hey, lady, we all uprooted our lives to come out here and save you and talk you out of
There's
child
Drake.
abandonment. Be
You're here because you're miserable. And you're trying to avoid your own miserable lives.
Who told you
She's
that?
actually
What do
right.
you know?
Yeah.
Have you
yeah.
talked to Beth?
You all just seem miserable.
I got this. I got the money. I'm getting in the game. I'm making up Jesse's money. And then some. Deal me in. Douchebags.
This is a good time to remind the world how much I love Paula. Hey, they all got their suits.
I have known you for most of your life, and I've never seen you as happy as you are when you're with Rebecca. You gotta give that a shot.
How do I do that?
I struggle with making decisions every day, and I probably will for the rest of my life.
Good.
I mean, I came to Vegas just to avoid making a decision.
You're a lot cooler than I thought you were.
Oh, well, ditto. May I say, it feels very good to have you say something nice about me.
She rapped last time too.
Yeah, she did.
Julia, I have to tell you that this is the last one of these suits that I will buy. Because, good Lord, even if I could afford it, why?
We do not care how you dress. That's not why we hired you. You are a brilliant legal mind.
Well,
You just keep on doing that, and you're going to fit in here just
she
fine.
was sweating that all weekend.
Yeah.
I realize ultimatums are super basic, so I don't want to do them anymore. That's good, I guess. I love you. I hope you can forgive me.
Wait, I can propose?
You always could.
That's the last episode.
Yeah.
I need to be an adult, and I need to have an open and honest conversation with each of these guys and finally just make a choice once and for all.
We're proposing you go on 3 dates with 3 guys.
I don't like this.
1 date with each of us, and then at the end of that, you make your decision.
That is not their call. No. I think it's a game show maneuver, and I don't think it's right.
Very game showy, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like the dating game.
Now, why Josh come up with that? Wow.
Why Josh blew that one?
So I was kind of thinking that I was assuming the 4 of them were gonna have to get into a room
Right.
and talk it out, because I think that's what you have to do is talk it out with all 3 guys. You know,
I didn't know they had to do it all together. I felt like there was 3 one-on-ones.
I just think because like she's done it so many times separately with these guys
Sure.
to where they've all had the same resolution. It's like, I guess we're just better off as friends. And then it's
Right.
never the case. So at this point, throw it at the wall, see what sticks. You know.
I guess. I mean, it's romance. There's no right. There's no there's no rules. You know, people should do what they need to do to be happy. As long as you're not going out and hurting somebody else, there is no wrong answer as far as
Sure.
as what love is, right?
Yeah, it's unconventional.
Exactly. So maybe I'm just being too much of an old curmudgeonly traditionalist. Like,
Yeah.
But I really feel like the better answer is, Rebecca, you're a person. How about we all just agree that we're friends, and if something happens beyond that, it's because that you and the other person decide that something happens beyond that, and this doesn't need to be an issue that needs to be forced on anybody.
I agree, and I think that's the right answer. But at the same time, this is such a unique situation.
Of course it is.
You know,
right.
you know what I mean? Like
They all 3 have weird history. They all 3 have weird chemistry.
and I'm not saying this is impossible or like, I mean, it is a TV show. Obviously, a lot of this is fiction. But I mean, like, it's probably pretty rare. But how often in life does this happen to somebody where there's like 3 dudes that are like, you gotta pick one? You know what I mean?
Sure. And I here's what I think happens. I think most people at some point in their lives have options of someone you can be in a relationship with.
Yeah.
But I feel like when that happens, you kind of make that decision on your own without it being like a group discussion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can think of a number of times I've been interested in more than one girl that I could have dated, you
Yeah.
know, but I never had the like, let's all get together and talk about it. It's more been a thing of like, grow up and make a decision
Yes.
on your own,
Yes.
and then go from there and let everybody know what the decision is.
Yeah, you have to. You have to make your bed, man.
Exactly. And I feel like it's kind of the where this got wonky is that all 3 of the guys know about each other and about the situation.
Yeah.
Them seeing the columns didn't help.
Yeah.
But I feel like having the columns written and then getting that peek that they shouldn't have had into her head gave them a little bit of entitlement to kind of guide the decision process that she should get to make.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, all 3 of us want to date her, and she's only going to date one person if it's even going to be one of them.
Big
You know. So at some point, maybe since all 3 of us want the same thing with her and can't have it, maybe it's not our decision at all. You know,
you would think that's
right.
the same thing. Also, you know what's weird is that Josh and oh my God, Greg were best friends for so long.
Right.
That's a weird situation to be in a love triangle with your best friend.
Well, just the whole idea of, I mean, if I had to pick one, and you're right, if I had to pick one, I would say, obviously, at this point, Greg, because he didn't do the stand down. Yeah,
sir.
like I'm calling dibs, thing that an 18-year-old boy would do if, like,
Dibs.
2 of his bros decided that they wanted to go out with the same girl.
Dibs.
Dude, I called dibs.
Yeah.
So it's all kind of gross from Josh, and then Nathaniel kind of got along into the gross.
Yeah.
And then Greg was the least guilty, I kind of feel like.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think White Josh had a plan that I don't really see, I don't get. And I yeah, you're right. They did say like, if you're comfortable with it, if you're okay with it, but I still feel like it was being forced. You know what I mean?
It is a little forced. I don't know. I mean, I at this point, I do think that it's going to be none of them.
I would be completely okay if that's the answer.
Me
I really
too.
would.
One, because for the most part, we like all three guys.
Right.
We do. I mean, like,
I don't like the idea of it being a dating competition.
I don't either.
The show becoming that. The show's better than that, which means that you're probably right. You know, this is a show that zigs when you think it'll zag. I would not
It
be
does always zag.
I would not be surprised at all if we get to the end and Rebecca's like, I don't want to be in a relationship with any of you. I need a fresh start, right? New blood. You know, I'm not the same person I was when I went through the train wrecks we all went through together. There are, you know, almost 4 billion men in the world.
So I guess in a weird way, this show would also be zagging if she does pick somebody, because I think it's kind of
That's
setting
true.
up the fact that, like, all right, maybe it's none of them. If it had to be any of them, I'm assuming it's Greg.
I would
Right?
too, but I think you're right. I think it's going to be none of them. And you know why? I feel like this is a show that kind of points out the ridiculousness of like our romantic comedy obsession and how we think that what we get from movies informs how we live our lives.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this is what romance is supposed to be, and it's not. And this show has highlighted that for 4 seasons.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is a Mamma Mia setup, right? Except the romantic version of it, where it's like, oh, how many times in romantic comedies it's like, I just don't know which person I'm going to end up with. Who's she going to be with at the end? And I feel like it's too on the nose for a romantic comedy if there is one of them.
Yes.
It's we did the Nathaniel and what's her name, the girl at the law office.
Yeah,
I'm totally blanking out. Maya. Yeah, we did the whole like it was you all along bit already. As how
Great
ridiculous
episode.
that is, and I don't think the show ends with Rebecca looking at one of these 3 guys and saying, "Greg, Josh, Nathaniel, it was you all along," and us being happy with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it would be weird. It'd be a weird ending to end it that way. You
Sure.
know? I mean, the show could go literally in any direction. It could be all 3 of them. She's dating
Nothing.
all 3 of them. You know what I mean? Like,
Nothing would surprise
That's
me.
what I'm
with
saying,
the-
you know?
with this show. Yeah, that's what makes it so lovely.
and I'm fine with it. You know what I mean?
Me too. I like the fact that I cannot put my finger on what's going to happen. I love that
And
about
I'm
this
sure,
show.
no matter what decision that they make, the showrunners and Rachel Bloom, that we're going to be satisfied with.
Of course, they have not let me down yet. As far as like they cover every issue, right? Of of all of this mess, right? One of my favorite moments in the show was when Nathaniel, Rebecca, they built up the idea of like Rebecca is the way she is because of like her past life, her awful parents and her circumstances with those and other influences she had. Nathaniel realizes I had bad upbringing too because my dad didn't love my mom.
Yeah.
And then they had that moment of nothing's our fault.
Yeah.
We don't have to take accountability for anything, which I love the fact that the show called attention to the fact that that's where they were, we don't want to lean that way either.
Yeah.
Of like, well, just because I have this baggage, therefore I can do whatever I want without having to feel any of the consequences.
Yeah.
Because nothing I do is my fault.
This funny song.
It was great. This show runs the gamut of all of these issues that relationships and fitting in with other people gotta deal with. I love it.
And I am curious to see, like, let's say she picks somebody.
Sure.
You have to look back at the storyline of that character too. Does it make sense?
Right.
If she ends up with Nathaniel, I don't think it does the show. It's not a disservice, but I don't think it'd be a good message. You know?
I of the 3 guys, I think the one that I would say absolutely won't happen if it's going to be somebody is Nathaniel. I agree.
Yeah.
I think Nathaniel, who was very late being added to the show, who was very new to being a decent person at all, is probably the least likely.
Yeah.
Of like, I mean, she's talked before. We're talking like marriage material kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
As far as not ending up with like, hey, I'm going to date you for a while or whatever. We're talking like long term, serious commitment. I think Nathaniel is the least likely of the 3.
And I'm just curious in general if she's going to end up with anybody,
right?
Because it could be somebody else entirely.
Right, and it could be nobody.
Could you imagine if it was Trent? Could you imagine if it was Trent?
I don't see how Trent comes back.
I know
with his head being in the game.
I know. Like,
remember, he's the male Rebecca.
Do you think?
But not in a good way.
Do you think we see him?
I was saying yes all season, but now that we're like 3 episodes from the end, we may just be done with him. Remember, he had a big out, right? He fell out. He tried to tried to murder Nathaniel. Wasn't it Nathaniel?
It was Nathaniel.
On the and
she pushed him off.
She pushed him off a roof. She almost went to prison forever.
Yep.
He almost died. Yeah, it's I don't know how you come. you come back from that. Of course, we've had like awful things characters have done to each other at other points, and they've come back from it.
Sure.
But I feel like Trent may have topped himself there, right? That may have been like peak
Pookie.
office gourd Pookie.
Yeah.
There's I don't know that you come back from that in such a short amount of time as far as making narrative sense.
If they do a big final song to end the show, just one cameo. Just
A cameo from Pookie might be okay.
I would love it.
But I don't know how he becomes part of the story again. It's at least not in a positive way of where everyone's at now.
Truly.
All right. Well, like I said, if you're seeing this on YouTube for the very first time and you want to see how the show ends with this, it's right there on Patreon. We should be done with it by now. Plus the concert at the end, which only will be available on Patreon. So hop over and check it out if you'd like.
Do it, guys. We'll see you in the next one.
Take care.